People think that other people want to be them. I think they think other people want to be white. They actually think that people are looking at them ordering Charlie Kirk's at Starbucks in a show of solidarity and thinking, God, I wish that was fucking me. They think people want to be like them. Bro, nobody wants to be like white people.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
In every lifetime, if I ever got reincarnated, I would choose to be black. This video is so funny because it is true. Like, white people think that they are the norm, the status quo, and that they are the blueprint for things, and everything outside of the scope of being white is not normal. I can speak boldly for the majority of black people on earth, that I will say 99.999% of black people. In every lifetime, if I ever got reincarnated, I would choose to be black. With everything that we experience in the world, with everything, all the history we have, all the racism, microaggressions, macroaggressions existing in this world, having to prove yourself, being better than everybody just to get an equal level playing field, I would always choose to be black. I couldn't imagine not having 20 cousins, having fake cousins, being communal, going to church, having growing up in my grandmother's house, having dinner at my grandma's house, having a drunk uncle that has hoop dreams at 50 who used to be a rapper. I couldn't imagine not having all the things that bring me together as a black person with other black people. Seasoned food, rhythm, music, clothes, swag, style, impact. I just could not imagine not being this person. So if you're watching this and you're white and you really think that you are the blueprint because the world has told you so, that's a lie, bro. It's a lie. I would never want to be white. Even, don't get me wrong, there are some people out there that have issues internally, self-hatred, and that's due to our history in this land and the world. But the majority of us would always choose to be melanated in the next lifetime. Have a wonderful day.
You know, racism is sad and frustrating on so many levels. It takes so much self-harm to remain steadfast and defend a absolutely destructive methodology of human interaction, right? Racism is a social system, and in that social system, white folks are weaponized to destroy and defend the destruction by remaining ignorant, by remaining not wanting to have real conversation or learn about other cultures or experience another way. As long as it fits our social perspective that we are better than somebody else, by making someone else look like they're vicious when our history is right in front of our face vicious. Right in front of our face, we see Bill Gates and the destruction that he's doing to the planet and the medical industry, and all of it is based out of Europe because healing is based out of indigenous and aboriginal cultures, and that's just using the earth the way that the creator intended, right? So literally, we are harming ourselves and defending ourselves and remaining in this place of ignorance. And we are doing it with such energy. And it is just sad to watch. And it's sad to watch because there could be so much enjoyment on the other end if we literally learned how to treat folks the way that we are treated by every other culture that we have been dismantling. African culture, they're not trying to hurt us. Black and brown, as we call them, indigenous folks that just want to be part of the planet are not trying to hurt us and can help us get reconnected, healthier lives, and just enjoy ourselves. That's why I asked, race for...
Hello guys, I'm Harrison. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. There is nothing controversial about loving who you are in a world where Black Americans had to fight for dignity, equality, recognition, and basic humanity. Unapologetically embracing Black identity is powerful, Black pride is not hatred toward anyone else. It is a refusal to let history, racism, stereotype, or oppression define our words. For generations, black people had survived systems that tried to silence, erase, exploit, and marginalize them. And despite all of that, black culture continues to influence the world through music, fashion, language, creativity, activism, spirituality, resilience, and so that is why so many black people say with confidence, I will never choose to be anything other than black. There are people who look at black confidence and immediately become uncomfortable with it. But loving blackness is not extremism, it is self respect. Black people have every right to celebrate culture, history, beauty, creativity, and survival. Too often, society tells black people to minimize themselves, tone themselves down, or seek approval before expressing pride in who they are. But many black Americans are rejecting that pressure. People openly say, I love my skin color, I love my brown skin, I love being a black man, I love being a black woman, I would always choose to be black. And honestly, that confidence matters. Black Americans have contributed to the global culture, the influence of black music, black fashion, black language, black activism, and black creativity can be seen across the entire world, from civil rights movements to entertainment to sports to arts. Black culture continues to shape society into undeniable ways. There is also something powerful about the resilience of black communities, but despite slavery, segregation, discrimination, economic equality, over policing and generation of systemic racism, black Americans continue to rise, create, build, lead, and survive. That resilience is worth celebrating. And when people say things like our skin is beautiful, the sun loves our skin, black skin is dope, we are unique, we are royalty. Those statements come from a place of reclaiming pride after centuries of being told the opposites. Like these are connected to legal systems of equality. Black pride exists because racism existed and still exists. Historically, institutions in America often centered whiteness while excluding black people from opportunity, wealth, education, political power, housing, healthcare, and media representation.
If you can't trust nothing, or you can't trust no one, you could surely trust nature to tell you the truth. When you look out this window, you see the tree and the cloud. The cloud reminds you of cotton, the cotton field, where your ancestors sacrificed, worked hours, long hours, 12 hours, sometimes more, to pave a way for you all, just so you can shit on them. These clouds should be a reminder to you all of what you are fighting for every day, why you are here, and what is your purpose. These clouds out there on top of those trees, that reminds you of that cotton, should remind you every day of where you will go, what you will be doing if you all don't get it together. See, the cotton grows on the tree. It takes about 2 years for cotton to revive itself. What you've been seeing in films is your ancestors picking cotton from shrubs and bushes. Now, how is that significant? It's significant because it will show you and tell you how conniving and disgusting these white people are. See, the sun shines in that blue sky. It rises and it sets. White people didn't want to work the cotton field. Not because they couldn't, but because they got a lot of pleasure of watching your ancestors sacrifice their lives, bleed, die, deteriorate. It was all for shits and giggles. The shrubs of cotton that you see was sprayed so that they wouldn't grow into trees. They used a growth regulator, a plant growth regulator, that instead of them waiting 2 years for that cotton tree to grow, they will stay as shrubs so your ancestors could break their fucking backs. So they can break their fucking backs. So they can sweat in the sun. So their hands could prick and bleed from that cotton. They could have waited 2 years. They chose not to. They've been playing this game. Manipulating shit. Trying to play God and shit. They're unnatural to this world. It was all for shits and giggles what they did to your ancestors. They enjoyed it. They could have waited for that cotton tree to grow. 2 years, that's all it took. They could have just made a little apparatus, a stick, go in that tree, pluck them down. They chose not to. They enjoyed their pain. The same way they enjoy your pain now. Going to work every day. Not having time for your children. Not having time for yourself. They enjoy it. Even the diabetes, where you see your grandparents, your mothers, sometimes your kids pricking their fingers. That's a reminder of the cotton field. They enjoy it. You really think it's normal to have these diseases, to have diabetes? How about if I tell you it comes from the cotton field? It comes from those growth regulators that they've been spraying. A lot of these diseases that they say is genetic came from those plant regulating hormones. It sounds crazy, but it's the truth, because nature doesn't lie. Everything that they are doing to you right now is for shits and giggles. They enjoy it. They could have went out there when the sun went down and did the work. They chose not to. They could have worn some protective clothing and went out there. They chose not to. They got a pleasure out of the pain of your ancestors, as they do today. They get a pleasure when you cry, when you hear your son's been shot in the streets. They get a pleasure out of that shit. And there you are, shitting on your ancestors every day. Because you think it won't be you. It can't be you that's gonna go through this. You're going through it now. They just gave you some cheap clothing to put on. Put their names on it. You're no different from your ancestors. That's you right there, working that cotton field, working for that money. That's what it's made of. Hybrid cotton. It's hybrid, not even real cotton. Fake shit. Just so they could laugh at you. So before you say you're not your ancestor, look outside, look up. Look at them clouds. You're in the cotton field.
That history created generational inequalities that still affect people today. So when Black Americans celebrate themselves loudly and unapologetically, many see it as an act of resistance against those systems. But it is important to draw a clear line. Criticizing racism, white supremacy, discrimination, or systems of oppression is not the same as attacking all white people. A strong message about Black empowerment should not become hatred toward another race. The global should be liberation, equality, dignity, justice, and self-love, not division. Black pride often grows from lived experience. Many Black Americans grew up managing stereotypes, discrimination, underrepresentation, and unfair assumptions. So when Black people speak positivity about themselves, their appearance, or their culture, it becomes from a healing and empowerment. Black culture has repeatedly changed the world while often not receiving equal credit. Music, style, slang, entertainment, sports, arts, dance, and activism rooted in Black communities have influenced nearly every corner of modern culture. At the same time, Black Americans have continuously organized for justice from the civil rights movement to modern activism. That is why many people feel deeply connected to their identity and proudly say, Blackness forever. I love my influence, culture, swag, and softness. No matter what I go through, I will never wish to be any race but black. I unapologetically love my blackness. For many, this is not about superiority. It is about refusing to internalize negativity after generations of being told they were less than. Black pride does not need permission. There is nothing wrong with it saying, I love my people, I love my blackness, I'm proud of my skin. I would always choose to be black. So coming to the end of this video, thank you for watching. Subscribe for more discussions about culture, identity, politics, and social issues. Like, comment, and share your thoughts respectfully. Catch you in the next video, guys.